let's dive right in. We all want to make more money, but what if I told you it's not really about what you do, but how you structure the deal itself? It turns out making money really just comes down to how you manage risk in a trade, and there's a fascinating kind of secret hierarchy to it. So let's ask the big question. How is money really made? When you boil it all down, there are a few ways, but honestly, for most of us, there's only one real option on the table. I mean, you could steal it, but, that's kind of off the table. You could inherit it, but most of us aren't that lucky. Marry into it? Sure, it happens, but it's not exactly a business plan. So what does that leave us with? The one real option. You gotta trade something for it. Your time, your skills, a product you made. This is the game we're all playing. But here's the kicker. Not all trades are created equal. Not even close. The way you structure that trade is everything. The framework we're exploring today lays out this incredible 6-tier pyramid that shows exactly how value and risk get swapped for money. And we're going to climb that pyramid from the very bottom all the way to the top. So let's start at the base of the pyramid. This is where most people live and work. These first 3 tiers are all just different flavors of the same basic deal: trading your time for money. Tier 1. This is the classic employee deal. You know it well. You work for 2 weeks, maybe a month, and then your employer pays you. The deal here is really simple. You're trading away risk for a reliable paycheck. As long as you show up and do your job, that money is coming. It's safe, it's steady. Okay, moving up a level, we hit Tier 2, the contractor or freelancer model. Here, the deal changes to you pay as we go. Maybe you get half the money up front, or you get paid as you hit certain milestones. The risk is now shared. But here's the catch. Your job security takes a nosedive. It's way, way easier to fire a contractor than it is to fire an employee. And check this out. The data really tells the story. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average employee hangs around for almost 4 years. But an independent contractor, sometimes their contracts are just a few months long. That is a huge difference in stability. You get more flexibility for sure, but you give up a ton of security to get it. Now we get to Tier 3, and this is where you start to feel a real power shift. The deal here is you pay me first, then I'll do the work. Think about a top surgeon or a lawyer who asks for a big retainer. You have so much demand for your skill, or you're just so good at what you do, that you can get paid before you even start. You've completely shifted the financial risk over to the customer. So let's just recap the foundation real quick. Tier 1, the employer holds the risk. Tier 2, you share the risk. Tier 3, the customer holds all the risk. See the pattern? As you climb this pyramid, the risk just systematically moves further and further away from you. All right, now we're at the turning point of the whole pyramid. Tier 4 is an absolute game changer, because this is where you stop trading your time for money altogether. This is all about getting paid for outcomes, not hours. We're talking about things like revenue shares, getting equity in a company, or big bonuses for hitting a specific goal. If you can deliver that result in 5 minutes instead of 5 weeks, amazing. You get paid the same. You're being paid for your result, not for punching a clock. And this leads us to the single most important idea in this whole thing. You get paid in proportion to the perceived risk you take. But pay close attention to that word, perceived. The secret isn't just taking on crazy amounts of risk. The secret is finding something that looks super risky to everyone else, but for you, it's actually not that bad. That's the sweet spot. And this is what the source calls mispriced bets. This right here is the engine of how real wealth is built. It's about spotting those opportunities where the market thinks something is incredibly dangerous. But because of your unique skills or your inside knowledge, you know the actual risk is way lower. The market overpays you because you're willing to solve a problem that scares everybody else away. All right, let's keep climbing. We're about to enter the God tiers. This is the top of the pyramid where the whole game of making money gets really abstract and incredibly powerful. Welcome to Tier 5, the insurance model. This is basically the business of mispriced bets on a massive scale. You are literally buying and selling risk itself. Think about it. Insurance companies collect your premium every single month, and they make a profit when nothing goes wrong. Their entire business is built on getting paid for the absence of a bad event. When nothing happens, they win. So what on earth could be more powerful than that? What's a level above a system where you literally get paid for taking on financial risk? Is there an even bigger risk that society is willing to pay for? You bet there is. Tier 6, controlling the flow of money itself. This is the government, the tax collector. They take on the biggest risk of all, national security, keeping society from falling apart, making sure there are laws and we follow them. And in exchange for managing that massive existential risk, society gives them the ultimate power, the right to get paid by everyone, no matter what happens. They can do this because they protect the very system that lets all the other tiers even exist. Okay, so this is all super interesting, but the big question is, how can you actually use this? Let's bring all these big ideas back down to earth and talk about how you can start climbing this pyramid in your own life. So, how can you make your move? To start climbing towards Tier 4, think in outcomes. Instead of just a flat fee, could you negotiate for a small royalty or a revenue share? That way, your success is directly tied to the client's success. To get a taste of Tier 5, you could sell a guarantee or an extended warranty. You're basically selling a mini insurance policy, getting paid extra to take on a small, calculated risk for your customer. And to touch on Tier 6, think about controlling the flow of money. Can you build a business, like a franchisor or a payment processor, where the money has to flow through you? And this all brings us to this great quote from Jeff Bezos. In baseball, the absolute best you can do on one swing is a grand slam, 4 runs. Your upside is capped. But in business, when you step up to the plate and take a smart, calculated, mispriced risk, you can hit a home run that scores 1,000 runs. The upside is almost unlimited. And understanding this pyramid, well, that's the first step to learning how to swing for those fences.